My guest today at the Speak Up Conference is Mary A. Allen. She's a wife, a grandma, she is a registered nurse, she's an author and a speaker, and the title of her book is especially intriguing, Crying in the Morgue, Laughing in the Dark. Now that gets my curiosity up. Mary, welcome to the Speak Up Conference. It's a joy to have you with us.
It's really a joy to be here, Carol. Thank you.
Well, I'm looking at your resume and it's filled with so many different things. And I just have to ask, did you always have a passion for what you're doing today, or did you somehow unexpectedly fall into a little different calling than you thought might be happening originally?
Yeah, I think I sort of fell into it. I was praying at one point, Lord, what is it that you want me to do? And shortly after that, I went to my high school's 50th anniversary reunion with my brother, and he told me this story about how on the morning that I was born, my mother said she didn't want me and sent me to the morgue to die. And I was pretty stunned about that. So I thought, maybe I should tell people this story.
I find myself breathless even thinking about what you might have been through at that point. And as I look at the title of your book, I'm so wondering what happened exactly. And what was your reaction when you found out you had been left in the morgue actually to die?
Yes, at first I was stunned because I'm a nurse. And so the idea that a doctor would leave a baby in the morgue to die was incomprehensible. But after I thought about it for a few minutes, I started to cry. I was overwhelmed because it was at that point in my life when I realized for the first time God had a purpose for me, or he would not have saved my life that morning.
Well, he certainly does have a purpose for you. At this stage of your life in ministry, what is your main mission?
I think a lot of women today struggle with their feelings of worth. They feel like they're not good enough or tall enough or thin enough or talented enough, whatever enough
You're
thing.
telling my life story.
Exactly. And so I want women to know that they are good enough for God to love them.
That's powerful, that message right there. What is the one thing you like to communicate when you're speaking and even through written words?
That we have a purpose. When we have Jesus in our life, we have a purpose. Our purpose is to give him glory, and we do that with our life.
That is so true. When you were writing your book, was it a journey of self-discovery, or was it very painful, or maybe a touch of both?
Well, you know what I discovered, Carol, was that I didn't have to believe my own personal opinion of myself. Through the writing of this book, I discovered some things about myself, and yes, a lot of it was quite painful to relive, because actually for the most part in my life, I didn't realize that my mother had sent me to the morgue to die. I knew that she was older and didn't want another child, but that was it. And so having to relive that from the perspective of knowing that she didn't want me was kind of painful, yes.
Well, one of the things I would love for you to tell our listeners is what you're most passionate about in ministry right now.
When I was writing this book, I prayed, Lord, if you would just use this book to touch one life. And so many women have said, oh, I can really relate with what's in this book. And that's what I'm passionate about, touching women's lives in a positive way. Having them say, you changed me, and I can look differently at myself now. I just want women to know that they're good enough for God to love.
Oh, I can see it in my mind's eye, about 1,000 women saying, right on, Mary, you really hit me right where I'm feeling the most important sense of knowing that God cares about me personally. And boy, you convey that very well. If you would like to get a hold of Mary, you can go to her website at maryaallen.com. There are biographical summaries that you can request, and you'll certainly want to look at this great book, Crying in the Morgue, Laughing in the Dark. Mary, it has been an honor to have you with me in this interview. God bless you.
Thank you, Carol.